All right, hey guys, Jason here, and we are up here at J.C. Lewis Ford up here in Statesboro, Georgia. Sorry about the humidity again, very hot. Matter of fact, you'll probably see a lot of lightning happening over here. We got thunderstorms moving in. It is high humidity and everything, but look at this Raptor right here. Okay, tell me this thing isn't gorgeous. And we're going to talk about some lease deals, and this Raptor right now has a lease deal on it. Do we got a window sticker on it? We do not, of course. They just don't put window stickers on everything anymore. It's just kind of how it is. I don't even see one laying in there anywhere to be able to show you, but we are talking about these are what, $90,000? For a Raptor F150, gorgeous trucks. I mean, these things are absolutely beautiful, but they're anywhere from $85,000 to $100,000 on these things. Well, they got lease deals on a Raptor going on right now. I want to see if you think it's a good lease deal. Then we'll talk about leasing in general. So where are we at for this? Here's what Ford is offering on a Raptor lease deal currently right now on one of these, and we are coming in at for 48-month lease. How nice is that? 48-month lease with 10,000 miles, 10,500 miles per year. So that is a 42,000 mile lease for 4 years on this Raptor. Excellent. That's nice to see, but it's still only 10,000 miles a month, basically, or a year. 10,500. So 42,000 mile lease. And you got to put down on this, you got to put $9,180 down. Does not include your taxes or fees, but you got to put basically $9,200 down, and the payment is $1,060 a month. So a lot of people are like, man, you mean I could be driving a $100,000 truck for only $1,000 a month? I got to put $9,000 down, $9,200 down, but for $1,000 a month, I can be driving a $100,000 truck. My friends would go crazy. My neighbors would think I hit the lotto. The Joneses would flip over backwards. Everybody would think I am king of the hill, top dog, the man, that I made it in life and that I am all that. And here it is right there. Well, how does it really stack up? So let's take those numbers and put them into perspective. So you got $1,060 for 48 months and $9,200 down. When you combine that, that comes out to be $50,880 in payments, plus your down payment of $9,200, not even counting your taxes and fees, puts you at $60,060 is what you will pay for this. Let's call it, because there's not going to be a high-end one for that lease rate, but let's call it an $85,000 truck. You will pay in 4 years and only 40,000 miles, you will pay $61,000 for that truck. Meaning that, I mean, do the math on that. How ridiculous is that? That's like $24,000. You're going to hand the truck back, and that you only owe. You're only like $24,000 short of actually owning it at that point. But yet you're going to hand it back. You could buy this, drive it for 4 years, and for 40,000 miles. And then you could sell this, and you probably only lose $25,000 total. But yet the lease is going to make you lose $60,000. Isn't that crazy? Okay, this is the stuff we're talking about. Leases have to make sense. Okay, you have to understand. You cannot just look at the payment. You have to look at the payment, you have to look at the money down, and you have to do the math, and you have to look at the total thing like I just did. I just walked you through the entire process. Monthly payment of $1,060, down payment of $9,000, $9,200. Combine the payment total together for the whole 48 months, comes out to $50,880. Kick in your down payment, makes it $60,060. Basically, $60,000 is what it is. You have to ask yourself, if I bought it and I drove it for the term of the lease and the mileage on the lease, how much could I sell it for? I promise you that if you bought this truck, you could buy it, drive it for the same terms of those lease, and sell it for so much more money. If you take that lease deal on this truck, yeah, your payment is only $1,000 a month versus $2,000 if you were to buy it. But realistically, you will lose $30,000 extra in that lease is what you're going to pay. You're going to pay 30 grand extra. So always do the math on the leases, okay? I mean, people are always like, why don't you lease? Well, I can't lease. I drive 40,000 miles a year. Leasing for me is out. But even if I could, there's been like 3 times we've leased in our entire lives, and it's because we got very good deals and it made sense. Don't think for a second that I've ever leased a car without doing the math like I just told you to. If you don't, you come out here and you lease one of these things, and you're like, oh, it's only $500 a month. But if it's $500 a month, with a 10,000 mile a year lease, or now we even see 8,000 mile low use lease or low mile lease. But if it's 10,000 miles and it's a 3-year lease and it's $500 a month, okay, you do the math on that. But then if they're making you put $5,000 down, you know, your $5,000 down in your 36 months, 36 times 500, you know, that's going to put you whatever that number is. What is that? That's like $18,000 plus $5,000 down. That's $22,000. You don't think that you could buy this brand new, get a whole great smoking deal and get, you know, 15% off on this thing and then turn around and sell it, and you don't think you could do better than that lease? If you don't and you think the lease is better, do the lease. If you know you can do better by buying it and selling it, that is the way to go. Now you can, yes, lease one and then pay it out at the end, like on that Raptor right there. That would be very smart to do. Okay, if you were to, if that's what it came out to. But if you were to take this and then when it was all said and done, you were to turn around and buy it out for the $25,000 that's left on the balance, that would be a very smart thing to do, to buy it out rather than hand the keys back. Handing the keys back would be stupid. Okay, but you got to do the math and make sure that this stuff works and that you're making the right decisions. Leasing sounds good because they seem like lower payments, and lower payments to a lot of people is very important, and I get that. But don't let leasing get you into a truck that is out of your element and you're going to lose big money on just because you can afford the payment on it and you're going to take it. For example, when we think about that stuff, okay, here's 2 trucks right here, okay? Here's a Tremor. Now, this is a standard Tremor. This isn't the nice one with the Torsen front end and all that kind of stuff. This Tremor version right here, again, I'll bet there's no window sticker. Oh, there's a window sticker. Nice. So what are we coming in at here? We are coming in at $70,000. 70 grand for this basic Tremor. That's what this is. Basic Tremor, $70,000. What is this Tremor? In all practicality, it's basically it's an FX4. Okay, you could get an FX4. Where is an FX4? Right next to it. Right here is a Lariat FX4. Now, this is going to be the same price because of being a Lariat, and I think the Lariat trim is not something that really interests me a whole lot. All leathered out and all that kind of stuff. But what are we coming in at? This one's even more at $75,000. Okay, but you could get an STX like this right here, an STX 4-wheel drive, for a lot cheaper than what you can get this Tremor. Or if you get an FX4, XLT FX4, there's a lot of Ford F150s here that are just as capable as this is. Don't think that this one for a second has that much capability. It is basically an FX4 with some cool tires. That's what it is. There's nothing major advantage here, realistically, in the standard Tremor. Now, when you come over and you go jumping into, where is one? There's got to be one here. Here. This Tremor, this is the 402A package. You can tell by the bumper. This has the Torsen front axle in it, and this is going to be about $80,000, $82,000, $83,000 right here. Oh, even better, $79,000. But does this? Yeah, see that $11,700 package right there? That's the magic right there. That is where the magic happens on this truck, and that's what takes it to the right level. Okay, that one there has got the capability. These other Tremors, they're not. They're nothing fancy. And you could get, same with this Tremor here, nothing fancy. You could get by just fine with an FX4 and save that money. So leasing sometimes is worth it, but it has to be a smoking deal to lease, okay? Otherwise, you're just throwing your money away. Make the math work. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.